everyone, Siobhan here. I am the creator of Grow Sisters and the Grow Your Own Summer Projects and the Know Your Farmer documentary, all revolving around cannabis. Now, my account was formerly known as the Grow Sisters. I have since then moved into a whole new realm. So in 2015, my family was presented with the first cannabis cultivation license in the state of California. So our small farm, Blessed Coast Farms, was given that license by the state of California, and we cultivated on it for just 2 years. We had the license for 4, and we furloughed our license due to tax regulations and government overreach. So I know some of you that recognize me from that are probably really understanding where I'm coming from with that. And you know, the pressure just became too much. So I have since then moved out to Utah, and I'm living on a ranch where, yes, I do still grow things. No, I do not grow cannabis currently, but maybe someday the state will allow me to cultivate my own. So that'll be a funny thing. On a lot of my Instagram stuff, I do tour cannabis cultivation sites here in Utah. The regulations are quite interesting. You can check all of those out on my Instagram. I talk about it often. So since moving back here, I acquired a ranch and a ton of animals and a herd of cattle. And so I wanted to talk about, on this particular Know Your Farmer series, the American beef industry, and give a little bit of information about what I am experiencing in raising my own herd. And you know, in cannabis, I am a second generation cannabis farmer, and I had grown up in it, and I just had a ton of knowledge around it. This is all new to me, so you will be learning with me as we go. So much like the Know Your Farmer documentary on cannabis, which won awards from small festivals, was shown in multiple festivals, you can check that out in my YouTube. I do go by That Hippie Cowgirl, though I imagine if you looked up Grow Sisters, you could probably still find me. I thank you all for following, and welcome to the first video in the series of Know Your Farmer beef. So I'm gonna go ahead and give it over to my partner, Brian Embry, who is the brains behind this operation. I'm just the hand. I'm just the ranch hand. So I'll go ahead and let him introduce himself now. So say your full name.
Brian Embry, Texan. Yeah, so I got into sustainable farming really because I wanted to make a difference. I wanted to do things right. And essentially the reason that I think both of us got into ranching is to close the food loop. I wanted to be able to produce nutrient-dense fruits and vegetables. And then the extension of that is the beef that I eat on a regular basis. I'm Texan. I eat steaks, I eat carne asada, tacos, I think my draw to the cowboy life and ranching started when I was a kid. I've always loved horses, archery, guns, cows. It's just, you put them in front of a boy and they fall in love with it. My grandfather was really instrumental in that. It's where the name Zonk comes from. Everybody called him Zonk. He was born a Yankee, but he got to Texas as quick as he could. Buckles, cowboy boots, country music, just grew up with it. So it was a perfect fit. And I had a farm out in California, and we had discussed, moving into the ranching business out of farming, especially in California, in order to help with fire suppression, to graze the land, rotationally graze the land in order to be able to suppress fire. And it just didn't make sense in that state. you know, and this opportunity came in Utah, and I jumped on it. I mean, it is beautiful here. It's like, it's what dreams are made of. It's God's country, for sure. And so, you know, I mean, I think especially with ranching and what we're doing here is really special. You know, I mean, for a long time, I drove from Los Angeles, California, up the 5 to my farm in Ojai, and you pass exactly why people have a bad idea of ranching. There's that huge slaughterhouse that's just like this kill pen of cows that have no grass. They're all shoved in. It stinks. It's the worst kind of beef. And it doesn't have to be like that. You know, with what we're doing with rotational grazing, it allows the animals to do what they do in the natural. They herd together and push through areas, you know, in order to protect themselves. It's why they're a herd. In larger numbers, they protect themselves from their natural predators. And that allows them to eat through the grass and stomp into it and move on. And then that allows the roots to take hold in those areas and come back in. And, you know, we are what we eat, including what the animals eat. And so if we can really control that, we can create healthy family, friends, and community. And that's what it's about.
All right, so one of the biggest things that I want to talk about is it worth it? And I love that question because